Headlines most affecting Chilliwack this week. Independent candidates are emerging for the October 19th provincial election. Campaign offices for both the NDP and the Conservatives are now open. The actual writ for the election is Saturday. Chilliwack Arts Council, the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, the Chilliwack Progress, ChillTV, all coming together to launch the biggest arts awards in Chilliwack. They're called the Chillies, and we'll have more on that. Our guest this week is BC Libertarian Party leader Alex Joehl. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Business and real estate lawyer Dan Grice is running as an independent for the October 19th provincial vote. He will run in Chilliwack North against MLA Dan Coulter, as well as Heather Maws. Now, from his website, quote, Grice is a parent of 2 kids in Chilliwack schools, decided to enter the campaign in frustration over the NDP's plan to abolish the Law Society and its ongoing attack on professional independence. The lack of a moderate alternative locally was a catalyst for the lawyer who opposes the BC Conservatives' threats to massively cut university funding, censor high school teachers, and endanger vulnerable students by banning anti-bullying programs. Now, the official writ for the provincial election is going to be dropped this coming Saturday, and that's the official start for the campaign. Now, while some election ads have already started, the bulk of these will begin over the weekend. All the details and the rules of the campaign can be found on the Elections BC website. Meanwhile, Chilliwack campaign offices for both the NDP and the Conservatives have now opened, and we have a sneak peek.
I'm so grateful that you're here, for all of the energy, for all of the enthusiasm. Please keep it going. We know that John Rustad is putting out messages that hurt our neighbors. It hurts our community and it's trying to divide us, but what he doesn't know is things like this room happen all over our community.
We know that government is going to be won or lost with a pathway through the Fraser Valley. So we really need Kelli and I to be re-elected.
The art of politics, because it often is called the art of politics. And that applies not just to us, but to the other side. So when Dan gets up and gives his speech, or Kelli makes a speech, you can tell that they've been listening and learning and studying, and they understand the art of politics, which is explaining and convincing people. Even on the other side, I'll watch Shirley Bond. Even though we're in different parties at different points of view, there's an art to the way she asks a question in question period, and I appreciate that. And then I look down the aisle to the Conservative Party, and I see art there. Artists. Con artists.
NDP! Awesome.
BC Wildlife Federation and Lower Mainland Fish and Game Clubs are going to be co-hosting town hall meetings in anticipation of the provincial general election. MLAs and candidates for office are invited to meet with voters to discuss the state of wildlife management. Now, there is one scheduled for Abbotsford, but so far nothing's been planned for Chilliwack. And then this week, former BC United candidates were notified that if they are running as independents, they can't use the signs, the office space, the headshots, or any other services that were paid for by BC United. But the candidates can buy the signs back from the party. Last weekend marked the launch of a brand new citywide award show in Chilliwack called the Chillies, where you have your chance to vote for your favorite individual or group in one of 11 categories. So that includes Best Dramatic Performance, Best Comedy or Musical Act, Best Musical Performance, Best Writer, Best Public Art Installation, and there's a whole whack more. Now, there is a contest to win a number of pairs of tickets to the Chillies just by voting for your favorites until October the 4th. After that time, the top 4 finalists in each category are then voted on by the public. The winners announced on stage November 22nd at the Cultural Centre. This new program is the offspring of a partnership between the Chilliwack Progress, the Chilliwack Arts Council, the Chilliwack Centre, and ChillTV. You can vote online through the Progress online platforms, and we'll have a link to that on our posting of This Week in Chilliwack, or you can go to the Chillies Awards on Facebook for full details. Early bird tickets are now on sale until September the 30th at a discount.
Hi, I'm Kelli Paddon, your MLA for Chilliwack-Kent. Today I'm going to be answering a whole bunch of questions around access to healthcare. Here in Chilliwack-Kent, we've seen great improvements in the last few years. We have added in BC over 800 family doctors since implementing the Health HR strategy, as well as thousands of healthcare workers and nurses. We've also, right here in our community, seen a rural primary care center as well as an urgent primary care center. But one of the things that I know has had one of the biggest impacts here in our community is the work that's being done since we've expanded the scope for pharmacists. I'm here today with Tony at Good Cure Pharmacy, and I just want him to share a little bit about how we have expanded that scope and what he's seeing here in the pharmacy. Tony?
Oh, hi, Kelly. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, it's been a great change that came up last year in June 2023, where pharmacists were able to prescribe for minor ailments, and those are like 21 different minor ailments which we can do instead of asking patients to go to the hospital or go back to their family doctors. That has changed and impacted the healthcare system in a very positive way. For instance, a person or a lady doesn't need to go to the doctor for just getting hormonal contraceptives, and they're free of charge by the BC government. They don't need to pay anything for that, and it's all fully covered by pharmacare. Again, minor ailments like uncomplicated UTIs, where a person would come to the pharmacy, and if it's uncomplicated, any pharmacist in BC have the authority to prescribe and diagnose. There is no pretty much more diagnosis to this, but it's simple questions and answers that could tell us whether it's complicated or not. And if it's uncomplicated, the pharmacist can definitely prescribe medications for that condition. There are 21 different minor ailments, and this is definitely a great change, and took a huge lot of load from healthcare system in terms of longer wait times in the hospital or trying to make appointments with their family doctors. So yeah, that was great.
Great. Thanks so much, Tony. I know that many of you already know about the expanded scope with pharmacists, but not everybody does, so we'll be sure to post the link for more information. We also know that there have been hundreds of thousands of prescriptions delivered for free contraception here in British Columbia, and that's a game changer when it comes to reproductive choice. Thank you so much, Tony, to you and your team for all of the work you're doing here to support the community, and thanks for the questions that came in all around healthcare and access. If you're looking for more information, there will be web pages and links available with this. Your pharmacist is a great resource for you and your family to learn more about what's available and the access that you have in healthcare. So make sure to connect with your pharmacy for any of the 21 ailments, including free contraception. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, Dan Coulter, MLA for Chilliwack here. I'm at Vineyard Elementary at the playground. Oh, this is so cool. It is an accessible playground that our government was so happy to be able to have funded. As a wheelchair user myself, I encounter accessibility challenges every single day, and so I am so happy that I'm part of a government that was able to fund this accessible playground so that kids of all abilities had a place to play.
The province announced a new program of involuntary care for those with severe addictions, mental illness, and brain injury. Now, this includes youth, and also secure treatments within BC corrections. This is something that the BC Conservatives have been touting as part of their provincial election campaign. The first correctional centre will be at Surrey Pretrial. The first secure housing and care facility will be on the grounds of Alouette Correctional Centre for Women. That's in Maple Ridge. All the facilities will provide involuntary care under the BC Mental Health Act for people certified as requiring that care. But so far, nothing's been announced elsewhere in the Fraser Valley. This year, Ruth and Naomi's are hoping to raise $100,000 to fuel their outreach programs. Your involvement in the event supports Ruth and Naomi's mission in helping those experiencing homelessness, poverty, and addiction. Now, the route for the Ride for RAN has been altered a little bit. Vetter Trail is undergoing gravel removal, so the route is going to start and end at Fairfield Park. So go to Ruth and Naomi's social media for all the information. The ride is this coming Saturday. October is the annual Purple Light Nights. Various ceremonies taking place across the valley shining the purple light on domestic violence. Chilliwack's first event will be held Tuesday, October 1st, 7 o'clock at Chilliwack RCMP's office on Airport Road. Join in supporting their annual Purple Lights campaign and let survivors know they are not alone and honor the memory of those who have been lost to interpersonal violence. The 2024 Chilliwack Go By Bike Weeks are coming up. Starts September 23rd, rolls until October the 6th. It's a spring and fall campaign to promote bike use for leisure and work, and there are rides throughout the 2 weeks. Just Google Go By Bike for more information. And garlic is back, baby. The very first Stinking Rose Garlic Festival in Chilliwack. Some amazing fantasy farms is September the 21st and the 22nd, continuing the tradition of the old Chilliwack Garlic Festival. And Chill Sounds is partnering with this event. It's the 2-day festival with garlic farmers showcasing their harvest, food vendors providing an amazing assortment of garlic-based treats, fun games for the whole family, and Fantasy Farms and Chill Sounds will be having details on their respective social media. Coming up, the tradition continues. It's another year of Cascade's Hall of Fame. And we'll have sports coming up in a moment. This week continues as we talk to the candidates leading up to the October 19th provincial vote. The Libertarian Party is now announcing their candidates. Alex Joehl is the Libertarian president or director?
I'm the leader. I'm
You're
the party leader.
Party leader. Now, you've done this before at various elections, so you know the terrain. First off, 60-second business card, some of your background.
Yeah, definitely. I have been in politics for some time and only says that because on a Google search it says I'm a Canadian politician. So that's quite interesting. I am married with a son who's 14. We live in Langley in the Murrayville area. And I've run federally 3 times, provincially twice in the Langley East riding. And now with the redraw of the boundaries, I'm in the Langley Abbotsford riding. So I'm excited to be part of this brand new riding. And as we elect the next MLA, and I'm just... Every time I have a chance, I try and get onto the ballot because of the very first time I had the question back in 2006. It said, who am I going to vote for? And I had nobody I could vote for. I said, I have to put myself on there. So I got on there, I ran, I voted for myself, and it was one of the best feelings. Next time I ran another riding outside where I live, so I couldn't even vote for myself. But at least my parents got to vote for me.
Hey, Mom and Dad, yeah.
But so that's basically my political history.
With a new riding, the BC United, of course, have stepped away. We have the NDP, we have the Conservatives. I'm not sure if there's a Green candidate in your riding, but why Libertarian? What makes you stand out? Why are you so different? Why should you get that check mark?
Definitely. So we have no illusion that we're going to actually form government. We're not going to have a full slate of candidates. What we do know is that there are many people that feel disillusioned with the system and they don't believe that their vote counts. They don't feel heard. So what we as Libertarians, we want to be that name on a ballot. So somebody gets into the ballot box and they see Libertarian and they know exactly what that stands for. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're a principled party. Whereas we've already seen with somebody who has the brand name Conservative, they've already kind of wavered from what that generally means. So realistically, why Libertarian, why vote for us? Is because A, it's a principled vote. B, because it sends a message to the establishment exactly that you are dissatisfied with the status quo, but also you took the time to go vote, which is more than can be said for so many people with voter apathy at the state that it's at. So I don't want to have it so that anybody just doesn't show up, doesn't care. So I'm happy to be that voice. And why Libertarian? We believe in lower taxes, more choice, and real freedom across the board. And like I said, it's consistency is the key.
When you're talking about your party platform, you've got this highway expansion right in the middle of your riding. Yeah. You've got other things that are happening, from the homeless situation to the opioid crisis. What are some of the things that you really want to key on? Say you do become MLA and you have a voice where you can stand up and say, Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Absolutely. The number one issue in this province is healthcare, because it's already taking up basically one of every $2 in public spending, but also because it's underserving almost everybody. So what separates the Libertarians from the other parties is we fully acknowledge that we cannot fix this system without completely gutting it from within inside. We need to legalize getting the best care possible for everyone. Right now, it's only federal employees, RCMP, workers' comp issues, and prisoners have access to private health care.
Okay.
Why not all British Columbians? We want to make sure everyone has the access to the same care that they can afford and they can acquire.
And in your writing, you've got Abbotsford Regional and Langley Memorial. Yeah. The other thing, too, and it just came up, the proposal for involuntary access or involuntary, I don't know what's the best way of putting it, restrictions for mental health, but as well as addiction. Your take on this?
Right. So I don't always see eye to eye with all of the people within our party. Even that's the whole joke about libertarians is, put 4 libertarians in a room and you'll get 5 different opinions.
Right.
But where I stand, and this is consistent with our values, is we do want to see the end of prohibition, because the war on drugs has helped no one. It's benefited nobody. And right now we're at a situation where people are dying of toxic drugs on our streets. So first and foremost is we need to peel back all the government intervention that has led to the toxicity and all these overdose deaths. Second, and then this is where the Libertarians get involved, is we don't really need government-funded inhalation sites and whatnot and safe injection sites. We do need to have an opportunity for people to own their own bodies. Don't get me wrong, but we're at a point right now where if they are sick, they are still afraid to go get help. Or I can't really express it in any other way, that the sickest in our communities are still feeling like they can't reach out for help. Yeah.
Now, social media, you're all over the place. Then your website, Facebook, and I would assume on the website you have the full party platform.
Right. Yeah. So libertarian.bc.ca. You can go and you can click on the 2024 platform that's live. All of our candidates aren't listed yet. We're still trying to pull a few more out of the woodwork, but yeah, they're definitely. And then we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and
TikTok yet? Or
no, not TikTok yet. And definitely we're trying to reach out more and more. We had a really big push in 2017. We had our most candidates ever, 30 candidates. 2020 we had 25 candidates. Really good turnout for during the lockdowns, right? And mandates, so to speak. Yeah. But we've seen now a few people. Now that our backs aren't against the walls, they're not as desperate. So political interest isn't as high. So we're really trying to get everyone initiated, engage as many people as possible, and be an option on the ballot for everybody that still knows what a libertarian is.
Alex Joehl, the leader of the BC Libertarians, running in Langley, Abbotsford. Thanks again for coming in.
Right, thanks again.
You're watching This Week. chillTV Sports UFE announcing the women's basketball player Lauren Alonso and men's golfer Aaron Pauls will be the 2024 inductees into the Cascades Hall of Fame. The induction becomes official January 20th. Alonso played 4 seasons for the Cascades and helped her team capture 4 consecutive BC CAA gold medals and the CCAA National Silver in the 2000-2001 season. On top of that, a bronze medal nationally in the 03-04 year. Pauls joined the Cascades men's golf program as a walk-on back in 2009, and he was named Rookie of the Year. His playing career at UFE was from 2009 to 2015. He went on to be named a 4-time team MVP, earned a CCAA All-Canadian nod in 2013, Academic All-Canadian in the same year, and in 2012-2013 was named team captain and led the Cascades to their first ever CCAA National Championship title, taking home an individual silver medal, and congratulations to both. Kiana Langston scoring her second goal in 2 games. It was too late to salvage a result as the UFE women's soccer Cascades fell 4-1 to the UVic Vikes. That was last Sunday at Rotary Stadium. So the loss sees the Cascades drop to 1-3. The Vikes improved to 3-1-1. The Cascades now head on the road again next week to take on the UNBC Timberwolves. That's Friday at 6 o'clock. And then the UBC Thunderbirds on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The games will be streamed live on Canada West TV. And for the second time this weekend, the UFE men's soccer team scored before the 5-minute mark, but the Lethbridge Pronghorns found a pair of goals in response. They walked away with a 2-1 win on Sunday afternoon at Rotary Stadium. So what happens? The loss sees the Cascades men's drop to 4-2-2 on the year. The Pronghorns pick up 4 points on the weekend with the result against UBC, and now UFE moves to 2-2-3 on the year. So the men's Cascade back on the road with a trip to MacEwan University on Saturday, and then the University of Calgary on Sunday, and again those games will be streamed live on Canada West TV. Sunday afternoon football in the fall, a tradition, and at BC Football Conference is no different to do that. The Valley Huskers were on the road in Kamloops, and at one time they were behind the Broncos by 10 points. They stormed back and soundly beat the Broncos 53-36. So the Huskers are in 4th place at 4-3. They'll be hosting the Rams Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Exhibition Field, and that is also Billet Appreciation Night to recognize those amazing billets to helping out the team, and this will be the final home game of the season. And this Friday, the Chilliwack Chiefs start their regular season on the road. Friday in Coquitlam, and then the home opener is Saturday night at the Coliseum against Prince George. Coming up, Cari with the weather.
Hi, this week our weather is going to be a huge mix of sun, cloud. Tuesday there's going to be some sunshine, maybe up to like 23, so keep your fingers crossed for that. Although this weekend I'm going to be at the Stinking Rose Garlic Festival, and I will be bringing an umbrella for Sunday and maybe a sweater to just keep me warm on Saturday, but it's going to be a great time. Here's a fun fact. The fall equinox doesn't refer to the whole day. It's actually just the moment in time that the sun crosses the equator. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. I'm Don Lehn.